Keontae Roberts is up, hobbling, tender left ankle. Let's take a look at the forward keys to the game for this afternoon. Paul?
Well, first of all, for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, they want to get off to a fast start here this afternoon, still looking for their first road win of the season. Fast start would give them the lead, take the crowd out of the game. And Keontae Roberts' minutes, while we were talking possibly about foul problems, he's had some problems with that. Now we're talking about health problems after that sprained ankle.
Now Roberts is sitting down. Brandt, he sees the double quickly from Robish. Skinner inside with a big body, and he gets a roll. Skinner with 4 and the Bears with 4. First meeting between these two teams, Paul, 8 days ago, Oklahoma State jumped out to a 14-0 lead, and Baylor did not know what hit them.
Ron, that was never an event, never a ball game, and that's why Eddie Sutton is so concerned about this game. Athletes tend to forget how hard they worked to get a big lead. And you think coming out the next time, well, we'll just blow these guys away by going through the motions. Eddie Sutton wants to make sure that his club is ready to play here today.
Peterson with his first 2 of the ball game, and we are tied at 4. We've played just about 2 minutes here in the opening half. Brandt's turnaround to high archer. That is a very pretty shot for Doug Brandt, the senior out of Hastings, Nebraska.
Keontae Roberts started out on Doug Brandt, but now it's Mo Robinson working inside against Brandt. Brandt's a guy that can go out and shoot it from 15 to 18 feet.
Well, again, Peterson, and he is getting so deep on that baseline, Paul, that Baylor do a much better job defensively trying to collapse as they tied up at 6, and then they turned it over. Let's see the 4 keys to the game for the Baylor Bears.
Well, first of all, for the Baylor Bears, they're really going to want to get out this afternoon and handle the pressure that they anticipate from Oklahoma State guards, and also keep their intensity. You talk about that defense, Oklahoma State getting it down on the baseline. When you've got young players, the intensity is always a problem in conference play because you got to be ready to play the full 40 minutes.
Keontae Roberts has gone to the locker room. The shot by Robinson off the mark. Skinner running the floor very well at 6'10", 245 pounds. He averages just a shade under 15. He's got 6 this afternoon. We'd like to advise our stations, Paul, along the network. Break 22, that all-important break 22 is coming up next, so stand by for that.
Baylor will want to do a good job this afternoon of getting the ball inside to Skinner. He already has a half dozen points. 2 of them dumped down inside. That last basket, the 3rd basket, coming on the break.
Skinner very, very active offensively. Now he's trying to lean on Robinson on the inside. From the outside, Robish, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Robish has got a nice touch. He's got good hands. He likes to get out, step out, and shoot the ball. Let's see if he can get a lot done inside today as well.
Mannon, who beat Texas with a banked home 3, can't get the left-handed jumper to go. Oklahoma State has it. We're tied at 8.
Both teams playing man-to-man defenses. Oklahoma State did a lot of pressuring last week in Stillwater. They're backing off a little bit more here this afternoon. Baylor will try to mix their defense up a little bit more.
Dorsey out front. Marlon Dorsey, the senior out of Shelby, Mississippi, in for the injured Keontae Roberts. That ball's going to belong to the Baylor Bears. Eddie Sutton in his 27th year coaching Division I.
He cannot like the way this afternoon's ball game got started. The very first Oklahoma State possession, Keontae Roberts working the part of the floor that he normally likes to work. An injury to that left leg.
Well, Eddie Sutton and his coaching staff telling me before the game that they're very leery of this kind of ball game because they just spanked Baylor so badly at their place. It seemed like the Bears were intimidated by Gallagher-Iba in Stillwater. Brandt with 15 on the shot clock. Tough shot. Can't get it to go. Skinner's going to try to clean things up.
Ron, both of these clubs have had problems on the road, and some of the reasons for that, primarily young players. It's tough to go out and play on the road, and both these clubs struggling for a little bit of depth right now, especially Oklahoma State with their injuries.
Now, Maurice Robinson is up to his average by 5 points from the regular season to the conference. Gets 2, but then Hunter answers with the 3.
Hunter was not a starter at the beginning of the year, worked his way into the starting lineup right around Christmas time, and that's one of the things he brings. Decent percentage from three-point range.
More than half of his shots are from beyond the arc. And Oklahoma State continues their hot shooting. Marlon Dorsey with his first 2 of the ball game.
Dorsey came off the bench with the injury to Keontae Roberts. He's also getting more playing time since Jason Scare left the team.
Hunter just barely nicks the rim on the 3. Robish running the floor very well. You got to reward the big guy.
This is a great conference for active centers. Robish might be one of the guys we'll be talking about by the end of the season. Needs to step it up a little bit more than what he has over the first 14 games.
You'd have to say he's got some breeding. His dad, of course, Dave Robish, 15 years in the NBA and ABA. Brandt's turnaround. The foul won't go. Rebound into the hands of Brett Robish. His brother Scott Robish is redshirting this year. He's just a freshman. First brother tandem since Houston and Dickie Nutt at Oklahoma State. Baseline, no good. Robish tries the tip, had the offensive rebound, lost it. The rejection by Skinner. His 62nd block of the year, but Oklahoma State still able to connect from the corner.
Oklahoma State working hard on the offensive end, doing a good job on the glass, even though the shot got rejected by Skinner. He averages 3 blocks per game. Oklahoma State able to stay on the boards, and they're rewarded with the basket.
Peterson has a half a dozen, and OSU leads by 5. Skinner inside his trip. Whistle on the first foul of the game. And it's going to be on Mo Robinson, his first personal, first team foul. As Coach Harry Miller of Baylor sending in the substitutions. Morris comes in. Also David Jones, number 10, checks into the lineup. And Roderick Miller, number 32, coming in for Baylor. Harry Miller at one time was substituting 5 at a time. Now he comes in with 3. Just a reminder, stations break 22 is still on the way. That'll be our next break coming up. And at the line, it will be Brian Skinner. And if there's an Achilles heel for this Baylor team, it's right here, Paul, the free throw line.
It's hard to find a player on this team with a respectable shooting percentage from the line.
That wasn't bad, though. That time he bent his knees. Got a good arc on it. Harry Miller.
Fundamentals are here. I watched them shoot yesterday in practice and was surprised that everybody knows about the shooting percentages of this Baylor team, but mechanically they look pretty solid.
He'll get one more. That was a lane violation. Dorsey just jumped in a little too quickly. So Skinner's going to get it again. Brian Skinner out of Temple, Texas, just down the road, has really come into his own, beginning really last season. And Skinner has 8, and the Baylor Bears trail by 3. We'll be right back after this message from your friends at Phillips 66, the performance company.
Under this bright yellow cap, inside this distinctive black bottle, you'll discover gold for your car. Premium quality Phillips 66 Trop Arctic motor oil, engineered to the highest standards of the automotive industry. Now in an environmentally smarter bottle. A bottle made with recycled materials. Look for Trop Arctic motor oil in the black bottle with the yellow cap and discover gold for your car.
We've weathered some of the worst storms, survived some of the most brutal punishment dealt by the elements and the economy. We've helped millions of families throughout the heartland of America do the same. And together, we've come through stronger, more resilient than ever. For home, car, and life insurance, we're proud to be your shield of shelter. Shelter Insurance. We'll always be there for you.
Friday night, February 14th. Valentine's Day at Farrell Center. Brian White's. A Valentine's Day performance from country's multi-award winner. Waco 100 proudly welcome Brian White with special guest Ricochet and Thrasher Shiver. Friday night, February 14th at Farrell Center. Don't wait. Tickets for this special Valentine's Day performance are available now. Produced by Star Date and Pace.
Along with Paul Splitoff, I'm Ron Thulin. We've had 4 ties in the ball game, and the Oklahoma State Cowboys lead it by 3. But good news for Eddie Sutton. Keani Roberts, who is injured, apparently is going to be back.
Well, it looked like he rolled his left ankle, and that thing hurts so much when you first do it, but he is back on that Oklahoma State bench. Heavily taped left ankle right now, but looks like he's moving around fairly well. That will probably bother him more tomorrow than what it does here the rest of the afternoon. I don't think they want to leave him sitting over there too long.
No. You can see he's trying to keep it active. He's going to remain on the bench as Marlon Dorsey will stay into the lineup. Gabe Ramirez has also checked into the lineup for the Baylor Bears, number 45. A sophomore out of Converse High School.
Ramirez normally used to spell Skinner, but Brand is the player that left the floor right now.
Robish from the outside is able to bring Ramirez way outside, and Robish showing us he has a game. And funny, I was telling you, in the pregame warm-ups, Robish was practicing 17-footers. I said, Paul, he's not going to shoot that shot.
Well, a lot of times the players in warm-ups will show you exactly what they're going to do when they get on the floor in the game, and Robish not shy at all about shooting it from 15 to 18 feet.
Ramirez, the big guy, is 6'7", 215. His outside shot won't go. Oklahoma State, very careful, almost a turnover, but Robinson draws the whistle and the foul, and it will be on Skinner. First foul on Baylor, first foul on Skinner. And at the line, it will be Maurice Robinson, the senior out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Spent some time at Florida State. Eddie Sutton was very excited about Robinson last year, but he had a foot injury midway through the season and sort of curtailed the expectations of this young man.
He is the kind of guy that really knows how to use that body, and it's a big one, about 275 pounds, only about a 15-foot shooter, but he is a good scorer, usually in the low blocks.
He was averaging 9 during the regular season, 14.3 during the Big 12 season. Robinson gets the second. He has 3 in the ball game. Keani Roberts is going to come in, and Robinson is going to sit down. Interesting switch. So Marlon Dorsey will stay in at one of the forward spots. Roberts will join him at the other.
Pretty good matchup out front now with the point guards. You've got a big one out there. David Jones, a 6'6" freshman with the ball right now, and he'll be working against Dorsey, who's about 6'5".
Skinner shot over Robish, can't find the net. Roberts with the rebound, and when he came down, he grimaced like he was in pain.
It will take him a while to get the feel back in the foot, getting up and down the floor. If he can keep it loose, he's in pretty good shape. Once the thing tightens up, he could be in trouble.
Desmond Mason, number 34 in the lineup, a freshman from Waxahachie, Texas.
He's one of the most exciting prospects for Oklahoma State since they signed Byron Houston.
Big-time recruit. Inside of 10 on the shot clock. Dorsey looks up at it. Peterson gives it up to Roberts. Dorsey with 3. They're going to have to hurry. Mason forces it with 2. Doesn't get it. Rebound. Great job on the offensive board for Oklahoma State. Peterson, the running right-hander. It goes.
Ron, both of these teams yesterday in practice stressed one shot and out. You got to do a good job on the defensive glass. That time the Cowboys got the second opportunity. They didn't miss it.
OSU in the midst of an 11-2 run. Whistle, foul, no basket. It's going to be on the drive. And it will be on Peterson, his first second team foul.
Well, both teams working against the man-to-man defense. And yesterday, working that weave, the Baylor guards were really talking about trying to play with their heads up to look inside to pass. That time they saw the lane and able to penetrate.
Joe Atkins, number 35, the freshman out of Oklahoma City, is checked into the lineup. Adrian Peterson gets a breather. Grant back up off Baylor's bench. He'll check in. That is a three-pointer, nothing but the bottom of the net for Leon Morris.
Leon Morris, a starter for a good part of the season. Another young player for the Baylor Bears. He's just a freshman. Not a good field goal percentage, but he buried that one like he's been doing it all season.
Barely better from the outside than he is from beyond the arc. 34% shooter from the arc. Foul was on number 45, Ramirez. That is his first personal, and we have a timeout. 11:39 left in the first half. The Cowboys lead it by 5.
Long John Silver's, home of the freshest idea in fast food, wraps. These two are trying Long John's newest. Mountain Ranch, crispy chicken, fish, or shrimp, savory rice, a garden of freshness, and a ranch sauce refreshing as a mountain breeze. This one's blazing Cajun. Feistiest flavor in wraps, with a sauce that's, kid you not, hot.
How was yours?
Cool.
2 new wraps. Take a fresh look at Long John's.
It's the Harlem Globetrotters.
Hey, you kids shouldn't be out there. You should be in here hanging with us.
Friday, February the 7th at 7:30 p.m. Presented by Allen Samuel Chevrolet. Tickets available at Foley's Temple, Blockbuster Waco, and by Ticketmaster.
A Studio 66 update, Kansas at Nebraska. Check out Jacques Vaughn, the pass to Jared Haas. That's Jacques' 700th career assist. Kansas is looking good, although they trail by 2. Let's go back to Ron Thulin and Paul Splitor.
Baylor currently shooting 43% on 6 and 14. Oklahoma State shooting 71% on 10.
Both teams have attempted 14 field goals. The good news for Oklahoma State is they've made 4 more than Baylor. They're shooting 71%. The Bears only 43%. Eddie Sutton in his 7th year went to Oklahoma State. Averaged 23 wins the last 6 seasons.
Last year was the first year that his club did not win 20 or more ball games for Oklahoma State. Cowboys shooting it right now about like they did last week in Stillwater. They finished 59% against Baylor. Texas shot just 37% against this same Baylor ball club early in the week, the ball game that Baylor won.
Oklahoma State trying to even up that Big 12 conference mark. They come in 3-4 in conference play. From the outside, Dorsey gets the kind roll from the soft rim.
Well, you got to have the soft touch and that soft rim to be able to bounce it up and off the glass like he did.
Brad back into the lineup. 2 points in the early going for Brad. Ramirez kicks it back out. 23 to shoot. Lots of time. Oklahoma State going to stay in this man-to-man defense.
We're seeing Ramirez early here this afternoon, a player who normally averages about 7 minutes per game. Doesn't usually look to score. He's already looked to score here today, but getting a lot of playing time as well.
Now, the last 6 games, this Baylor team has averaged 24 3-point attempts. The tip in the offensive rebound.
Now, that's Mason. That is that talented freshman, really an athletic kid, getting after the offensive glass. The Oklahoma State fans have really taken to him. He's an outstanding jumper, a great dunker, quite a showman.
Preseason Big 12 Freshman of the Year pick.
He's playing in front of a lot of family here today.
Tahatchee not too far away from Waco. Well, Oklahoma State just controlling the boards early on. They've opened up a 9-point advantage. We're almost halfway through the first half here in Waco. A lot of pushing and shoving, and Brett Robish is called for the foul.
Oklahoma State really setting up high on their offense. A 1-4 set, seeing if the Baylor Bears will come out and pressure them, see if they can work on some back cuts, maybe some back doors, see if they can get some layups. So far, Baylor's kind of packed it in a little bit with that man-to-man defense.
Well, Baylor has been stuck on 16 points for a long time.
So this is a team that throughout this season has run into cold stretches on their shooting. Not a necessarily gifted team with the shots, but they'd like to work it inside when those 3-point shots won't fall.
Well, Baylor has had their shooting woes in conference play, only shooting 40% during the Big 12 season. They have yet to shoot over 45% in any game in conference play. Foul underneath is going to be on Morris. That'll be his first personal.
Well, you got to wonder about this Oklahoma State team. I mean, that emotional win in overtime against Oklahoma on Monday. They go on the road to play Oral Roberts on Wednesday. These guys' legs, you got to wonder about the final 10 minutes of today's ball game. They may want to get on that bench early here today to rest some folks.
You see Eddie Sutton bringing in mass substitutions again as Peterson comes in, and you can see the shooting percentage. Baylor hovering around 30% in the ball game. Oklahoma State, despite the tired legs, putting it up, but it's still a lot of basketball left to be played.
And you see Baylor still not pressuring much out in front. Oklahoma State giving them plenty of opportunity to come out and get in their face, and the Bears won't get there.
From the outside, the 3 won't go. Rebound, Ramirez fighting for it. Robinson's over Ramirez's back, and Robinson will be whistled for his second personal foul.
It didn't take Oklahoma State long to recognize that Baylor was not coming out after him, and they had their 3-point shooter, Chad Alexander, right at 40% in the season, his shooting percentage from behind the arc. Couldn't get that one down, so I would expect Baylor to stay back with that sagging man-to-man.
It's kind of amazing because usually when you know a team has the opportunity or the chance of being tired, you try to come at them and wear them down just a little bit more. Off-balance shot by Jones. Skinner's got the offensive rebound. And Skinner puts it back for his 10th point of the ball game.
Well, Baylor tried that last week at Stillwater and really got burned on the dribble, and I think they made an adjustment. We talked earlier in the ball game about adjustments that might be made, a blowout win for Oklahoma State. You know, they're probably not going to change a thing. Baylor had to change something, so they decided to change their defense.
Swatted away, but the whistle and the foul. Morris thought he had a block.
Now it's charged to Baylor, number 25.
Well, you've got to be active defensively. You've got to be able to get in players' faces and challenge shots. You don't want uncontested jumpers from about 15 feet, and that's what that would have been without the jump effort defensively.
Eddie Sutton not pleased with the job that Maurice Robinson is doing. He pulls him quickly, and he's going to talk to him on the sideline as Robish comes back into the lineup. Adrian Peterson, this sophomore out of North Little Rock, Arkansas, Oak Grove High School. Started every game but one last year for the Cowboys.
He has had a rarity over the last 10 days or so. He has been shut out of 2 of their last 3 games. Teams are starting to recognize him as a potential scorer and forcing him to work a little harder. There was a point last year late on in the season where he was maybe the #1 offensive option for the Cowboys.
Now he has 9 in the ball game, and the Cowboys lead it by 8 with 8.5 to play here in the first 20 minutes. Hunter tried to get it inside. Whistle. Fresh 24 on the, or fresh 35 on the shot clock. And it'll be the Baylor Bears ball underneath. There is Brian Skinner.
So many clubs play zone defense on this inbounds pass underneath their defensive basket, but look at the Cowboys. They're going to match up man-to-man. That's Eddie Sutton basket.
Eddie Sutton, exactly. Boy, there was such optimism coming from Stillwater at the beginning of the year as the Cowboys returned 9 of 12 players from '96, but they have been hurt by injuries. 1 player has left the team. Baylor also with some optimism, and mainly because of that guy right there, Brian Skinner.
Brian Skinner's game is really coming around, and he's going to be on campus for another year. He's just a junior.
The lead has been trimmed to 6, 26-20. Robish out front. Peterson tried to force the pass inside, couldn't get it to go.
And Skinner does so many things. Look at him setting this screen. So many times the player that sets the screen is the one that's going to end up being open because people will adjust to the player coming across the top of the screen. If you can post up down low, many times you can use your body and get that open shot.
Long John Silver's, home of the freshest idea in fast food, wraps. These two are trying Long John's newest. Mountain Ranch, crispy chicken, fish, or shrimp, savory rice, a garden of freshness, and a ranch sauce refreshing as a mountain breeze. This one's blazing Cajun. Woo! Feistiest flavor in wraps with a sauce that's kid you not hot.
How was yours?
Cool.
2 new wraps. Take a fresh look at Long John's.
Intensify the treatment.
She said what?
The tissue is damaged.
You have got to be kidding.
Don't.
No way, she didn't.
Rinse! Rinse! Rinse!
Going to ask me for a job. I know. And then Sally said Tommy told Sandy to ask me if I would ever consider going out with Garrett.
The pain.
No way.
When sports cream, when legs are sore, when backs ache, when muscles hurt. Wise Sports Cream, rubbing it in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. Wise Sports Cream, because it works.
Well, the Baylor Bears and head coach Harry Miller have to feel real good about the game because Oklahoma State only leads by 6. But, Paul, the Cowboys shooting 71% from the field. Are they getting that good of looks?
They are getting very good looks from guys that can shoot the ball. You look, Brett Robish, 3 for 4. Adrian Peterson, who is known as a good shooter, he is also 3 for 4. So players like Peterson with the ball on the right spot of the floor where they can do something with it.
Peterson now with 11. So much for going scoreless for Adrian Peterson. Cowboys lead it by 8, just about 7.5 to play. Skinner over Robish again, and Skinner is beating him up like a rented mule right now inside. He has 14 in the ballgame.
Well, Skinner red hot, really taking the game. This is going to be a good matchup inside. Robish actually gives up the shot he wants to give up. He's got a body on him, force him to shoot that jumper over the top of him. You got to keep him off the glass.
Oklahoma State lost to Oral Roberts a couple of nights ago, 71-60. They were down at 1 point, 30-15 early on.
Oklahoma State traditionally has done very well in that building, too.
Oh, yeah. They played games there. 22nd timeout by Eddie Sutton.
22nd timeout.
He doesn't like what he sees, so he wants to talk about it. He's reading Keani Roberts, the riot act.
Well, yesterday in practice, the Baylor guards having a hard time getting the ball inside, but Skinner is really presenting a nice target in there. Face up to the ball, getting that entry pass, and a nice soft turnaround jump shot.
Today's game is a copyrighted telecast of Creative Sports Incorporated. Any use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this broadcast without the express written consent of Creative Sports is prohibited. Skinner with 14 points, 3 rebounds, 14 of the team's 22 points, we might add. He is a candidate for the John Wooden Award, one of the 50 candidates so far. He's keeping his team in this ball game. Joe Atkins, the freshman out of John Marshall High School, the Oklahoma Player of the Year last year, pulls the trigger from 3 over the top of the backboard. The Bears will have it.
Number one option for the Cowboys that time was double picks down low, trying to break players along the baseline. The Bears worked on that yesterday afternoon. It paid big dividends right there. The only shot was that three-pointer from about 22 feet.
Mannon takes a hard foul. He'll go to the line.
Well, Mannon's a lefty, and he likes to work that thing left. Took it down the left side of the lane that time and able to throw up the baby hook shot. Strong kid, not a lot of size, 6'1", but he is pretty aggressive.
2 games ago, he returned as the starter for this team. The senior out of Portsmouth, Ohio, went to Independence Junior College. He likes that bank shot. He banked the 3 against Texas, and he banks the free throw this afternoon. And he hasn't called bank on either one.
Well, the free throw percentage, 41% coming in, so you may as well try something. He opened as the point guard, now working more in the off-guard position.
Well, just before hitting that 3 against Tom Penders' UT club, he airballed a free throw. That wasn't even close. The safest place to be when he shoots might just be on the rim. 5-point lead by the Cowboys.
One of the toughest places to be is on the offensive end. He really likes to get out and play the defense. Right now matched up against Chad Alexander, fighting his way across the top of a pick.
Boy, did you see a couple of picks he took? He got hit a couple of times. Shot clock at 15.
Well, the teams coming in from the Southwest Conference are going to talk about the physical nature of play in the former Big 8, now the Big 12, and that's an adjustment all of them have had to make.
Now, Keani Roberts misses the drive from the left side, then he commits the foul.
You see that so many times, a player with a good offensive move, Keani Roberts, moving to the portion of the floor where he really likes to work. Everybody knows where he's going. It's tough to shut him out, but he's really moving well with the ball. Doug Brandt gets the call today. Baylor feels that Brandt is very good with his lateral movement, a tremendous athlete, but you see Roberts coming across the top of the pick, taking a baseline. And after you miss that lay-in shot so many times, the frustration foul, and he drew the whistle.
He did it again. Roberts picks up his second personal foul. He's only scored 2. He's the Cowboys' leading scorer, and that will send Brandt to the line.
Eddie Sutton saw Keani Roberts on the bench most of that first half against Oklahoma in the beginning of the week, but Roberts really picked things up in the second half on their way to that big Cowboy win.
Of course, he had the shot to set the game into overtime, which allowed the Oklahoma State Cowboys to beat the Sooners in the Bedlam Series. Brandt, 12 points, 6 rebounds for the year. He's got 4 this afternoon, and that Oklahoma State lead has been whittled to 3, 28-25.
This is exactly what Baylor did against Texas. You hang around, you happen to hit a shot late, you may win it.
Baylor out a 7-2 run of their own. And we've got a hold, and it is going to be on Brandt. That'll be foul number 1 on Doug Brandt. 15th foul on the Baylor Bears. Harry Miller in the middle of a 5-year contract. Went to college, said he wanted to be a geologist. Now he's mining for winds instead of oil.
Tell you what, he is really off to a nice start here. Saw this club play the beginning of last year. That time they had 8 scholarships that they were able to give out. So he's gradually starting to get things together here at Baylor. And this is a much improved club over what they were at the beginning of the season a year ago.
Well, the ball looked like it was tipped by Baylor, but instead Baylor gets the ball. Turnover for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Skinner trying to post on Arobish. He sees the double from Roberts. Brandt in a lot of traffic, just uses his body, weaves his way in, and Brandt with 6.
Ron, a big item right there was the spacing for the Baylor Bears. Oklahoma State defensively always doubles down, tries to trap inside. If you pack your offense in, there's nowhere to go. But Brandt kept the good spacing, the good distance. He was open for the pass. He was able to get it to the glass. And now they step up with the defense, and the fans are starting to get behind them.
Mason, the bank is closed. Rebound into the hands of Baylor. David Jones on the right side. Inside, the layup blown. Hunter had a driving shot, couldn't convert. Robish running the court with Roberts. Kiani with the right hand.
Well, that's a big swing in the ball game right there. Baylor with numbers, with the trailer, unable to get a shot down, unable to finish a gimme. And then giving up the 2 points on the other end. Kiani Roberts once again getting to that glass.
First points in over 2.5 minutes, but then Jones answers with the three.
David Jones, another freshman. So many young players, first-year players, playing quality minutes for these Baylor Bears and being asked to contribute from the day they step on the floor.
Baylor trailed by 9 at 25-16. They've come back to tie it at 30. Whistle, that is a push, and it may be on Brandt.
Last week in Stillwater, Baylor got beaten up by double teams inside, so they worked yesterday and all week long on their spacing inside. They kept at that offensive possession to Brandt earlier. That opens up the middle part of the floor and the driving lane. And look at the quickness of Keontae Roberts. A little drop step, a spin move around Brandt, and there's Skinner. He's always in there looking to block shots.
You got to be careful. Roberts now with 2 personal fouls, and let's see if they try to get Brandt with 2 personal fouls. Let's see if Roberts goes inside to him. Peterson, the bank is open.
Peterson a year ago wanted to be a face-up shooter. He looked for the perimeter shot first, then the drive. I think he's about a 50-50 deal right now. He doesn't mind the drive.
Patrick Hunter trying to make something happen. Got into no man's land, and Chad Alexander will set things up. The junior out of McPherson, Kansas. Cowboys lead it by 2, 3:40 to play here in the opening half. Peterson facing up, takes man into the hole, strong move. Oh, baby, that's going to be an offensive goaltending. Too bad, because that was an impressive shot by Desmond Mason.
See why the fans like him in Stillwater? They have noticed the things he can do. This ball is very soft off the shot of Peterson. Was probably going to go in, but look where Mason went.
Cowboys by 2, 3:34 to play in the half.
Long John Silver's, home of the freshest idea in fast food, wraps. These two are trying Long John's newest. Mountain Ranch, crispy chicken, fish, or shrimp, savory rice, a garden of freshness, and a ranch sauce refreshing as a mountain breeze. This one's blazing Cajun. Woo! Feistiest flavor in wraps, with a sauce that's kid you not hot.
How was yours?
Cool.
2 new wraps. Take a fresh look at Long John's.
So you're saying you sold her the piranha, not the angelfish?
Honey, I picked up the fish. Hey, guys. Hello, little fishies. Meet your new friend, Angel.
Ever since the first Cowboys and Rustlers, Texans have always known how to leave their mark. And today, this is the brand of choice. Jeep Grand Cherokee. Right now you can get one for as little as $2.99 a month. With a rugged quadra-coil suspension, powerful available V8 and 220 horses, it looks like Jeep Grand Cherokee is one brand Texans can easily call their own. See your Texas Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
(32-30), 3:34 left to play in the first half. As the Oklahoma State Cowboys built a 9-point advantage, only to see the Baylor Bears come fighting back on the shoulders of Skinner and Brandt.
Oklahoma State's gone stone cold, haven't they? Look at that, down to 65%.
Down to, you like that?
You know, that is pretty typical for Oklahoma State to have a solid shooting percentage because of the offense they run and the things that they look for offensively. But 65%, that's still red hot.
John Perkins, a junior out of Plano, Texas. Plano East High School is checked into the lineup for Baylor. We have a whistle and a foul. And it will be on Robinson, his third. Remember to enter the Phillips 66 gasoline giveaway for a chance to win 5 years of free gasoline. A trip for 2 to the Big 12 basketball tournament and a 1997 Ford F-150 pickup. Check for details at participating Phillips 66 stations. Robish has to come back into the lineup. Skinner 2 for 3, couldn't get the front end. So the lead remains at 2. Cowboys looking for their first road game win. They've won 1 on a neutral site. Foul underneath. And a foul is going to be on Jamie Kendrick out of Troop, Texas.
Kendrick forced to play a little bit out of position right here. Kendrick, a 6'8 freshman, forced to work inside against a much bigger Robish. Kendrick worked yesterday afternoon against Skinner, so it's not uncommon to see him go down and play that big center.
Robish gets the first. He is a junior transfer out of Springfield, Illinois. Spent a season and a half with the Illini. Dad, of course, played at Kansas, 5 years in the ABA with Denver. And like his son, and his son like his father, is big. 3-point Cowboy lead. Jones way out front. Robish just leaning on Skinner now on the left block. The double comes quickly by Roberts. Skinner had a shot at it, kicks it out to the 3. Rebound into the hands of Roberts or Peterson, and he'll push it.
Well, that was great recognition. Anytime you've got a double team, you've got to have an open player somewhere, and it didn't take Skinner long to find him, right out there on the perimeter.
Now Oklahoma State very patient offensively, trying to draw out the man-to-man defense by the Bears.
Perkins now defensively working on Keontae Roberts. Perkins was a starter a year ago. He has really seen his playing time cut.
Boy, what Keontae Roberts did was a big-time move. He had it in his right hand as the foul is going to be called, but he used his left hand to keep the defense off him.
Well, he's a big, strong kid, and we talked about him early on, 6'6", so it's unusual to see a guy like that out at the point position, but they just let him set up, work whatever side he wants to go to, try to come across the top of a pick, and he is the kind of guy, he will create the contact. He will take the ball going into you. That will allow him to get it on the glass.
Roberts now with 5 in the ball game. Leads the Big 12 in field goal percentage, 8th overall in the NCAA. Out of Edmond, Oklahoma, with Oklahoma Christian School in Edmond. 6 now for Roberts, and the lead is at 5 as the Cowboys on a 5-0 run. Baylor has had problems, as Paul mentioned early on, about runs against them. 14-0 by Oklahoma State the last time they met. Skinner now switches over to the left, to the right block, but we have a whistle and a foul.
A strong defensive team many times will be able to stay away from those type of runs, but with Baylor, with so many first-year players and that concentration level, if it slips a little bit, clubs will get off on a little bit of a run against you, especially in the Big 12 Conference. If you slough off for 2 or 3 minutes, many times there will be an 8-10 point run, and it'll happen in a hurry.
Patrick Hunter from Ashdown, Arkansas. Talked about their free throw shooting.
Hunter has been giving them some pretty good minutes. He's been bothered by a sore ankle, and you see that pad that he's wearing on his left elbow. Took a nasty spill in the Texas game, still playing with that sore left elbow.
Alexander had a great look at it, just couldn't get the shot off. 5-point lead, Hunter all the way, the left hand, the spin, but Skinner is there to clean it up.
Well, that's the reason Hunter's out of that point position. He likes to drive, he's athletic, he's quick, he doesn't mind getting to the glass, and Skinner with the follow, he's always around the hoop.
Well, I tell you, Skinner is impressive. He has 16 in the ball game.
How about some of the centers in this conference?
Boy, they are some good ones.
Tony Battie at Texas Tech. Kelvin Cato up at Iowa State. Kansas has got a pair of them. Mikey Moore at Nebraska. All of them big, all of them active.
Possession arrow belongs to Oklahoma State as Roderick Miller, coach's son, will come into the lineup.
Don't want to forget Gerald Aker out of Kansas State either. There's a senior that's pretty active.
I saw Aker for the first time last week. He is active. Got in a little foul trouble, but he's going to be a good one. So Oklahoma State will trigger the inbounds pass. just to the other side of the basket. Brian Skinner is going to sit down. He has 2 personal fouls, but he does have 16 points. Coach Miller does not want him to pick up number 3 in the final 72 seconds here in the first half.
That is a good coaching move, because that third foul on a key player heading into the second half can be huge. If you can keep it at 2, he can go 100% full go both ends of the floor when you start the second stanza.
Now, Keani Roberts is going to be whistled for the offensive foul, and you talk about your key scorer getting 3. He just picked up his 3rd.
Oklahoma State not in great shape. Remember, he's got that sore ankle. He rolled it in the first 30 seconds of the ball game. Always taking it up hard. There you see the help defense. Ramirez coming from the opposite side of the floor. In position, he drew the whistle.
You know, he was so far underneath that basket. Most officials don't give a charging call. If a guy can make it that far in, that'll be a 20-second timeout by the Baylor Bears. Tough call to make. 50.4 left. And Harry Miller finds himself down by just 3 at 35-32. But what we've seen so far is the Brian Skinner show. He has put on the effort this afternoon that has kept the Baylor Bears in this ball game.
Probably the reason for that 20-second timeout, because Skinner is not on the floor, and he is the red-hot hand for the Bears so far in this ball game. So you have to look for some other options. You've got 50 seconds on the game clock. Go ahead and take your 20-second timeout. This might be your last possession of the first half. You want to make the most of it. A 3 brings you even. You at least want to get a basket, because Oklahoma State will have one more possession before halftime.
Now the 20 is done. Ramirez, Hunter, Perkins, Miller, and Kendrick for the Baylor Bears.
Well, you want to set up something right here, because you've got primarily backups on the floor, with the exception of Hunter, the point guard. And also you've got the young freshman in there with Kendrick. So you're going to have to set something up, because you don't have a lot of natural scorers on the floor right now for Baylor.
10 seconds on the shot clock. That's the game clock, lower right-hand portion of your screen. The shot inside by no good. A rebound controlled by Chad Alexander. Alexander penetrating to Robis. Shot clock is turned off. Game clock inside of 20.
Good play by Alexander. Nobody stopped the ball. He took it all the way into that Baylor defense, dished out. Robis maybe had a shot, but it wasn't a great one. Oklahoma State showing good patience.
Final 7. They've got to do something. Peterson for 3, and he buries it. Peterson with 16 first half points, and he matches the effort by Brian Skinner. But the 3 will send Oklahoma State to the locker room up by 6.
Well, you've got some red-hot hands on the floor for the Oklahoma State Cowboys here in the first half. Peterson has been hot throughout the first half. And you say, well, they didn't get much of a shot running that shot clock down or the game clock down, but that is Peterson's range, and they had him coming across the top of a pick. A face-up jumper is always a good shot for him.
And an open one at that. 38-32 is our halftime score. The Cowboys on top. Now let's send it back to our studios.
Ron, thank you very much. Welcome back to Studio 66. It's time for the Bud Light Halftime Report, and coming up, scores and highlights from around the Big 12 and from around the country, so don't go away. Lots coming back.
Freshers Hotline, what's your problem?
We're stuck with skunky beer.
So it's not Budweiser?
No.
Remain calm, sir. We're on our way.
Next time, look for this.
New Born on Dating from Budweiser, because fresh beer tastes better.
Freshers Hotline.
Could we order some Chinese?
I'm up on the tight wire. One side's ice and one is fire. It's a circus game with you and me. I'm up on the tightrope. One side's hate and one is hope. But the top hat on my head.
Take strokes off your game. Guaranteed.
Jack Nicklaus's personal technique that helps straighten slices.
Take strokes off your game.
Go Texas right after this. Today's game is brought to you by Phillips 66, makers of super clean gasolines and Trop Arctic motor oil. Brewery Fresh Bud Light, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. Ford and your local Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Pizza Hut, making it great again and again.
Bud. Bud.
Wise.
Everyone loves to shoot the basketball, but there's only one right way. That's why former NBA All-Star and NCAA coach Jeff Mullins is introducing the right way basketball, the ball with a built-in coach. For the first time ever, you can own this complete 10-step shooting program. It includes a durable patented basketball, the Jeff Mullins Secrets of Shooting video, and a 10-step shooting poster, all for only $34.95. No young player or coach should be without a right way basketball. So why wait? Just call 1-800-425-0811 to order yours today.
When sports cream, when legs are sore, when backs ache, when muscles hurt. Wise Sports Cream, rubbing it in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. Wise Sports Cream, because it works.
Presenting a space-age innovation in televised college basketball. It's called ESPN Full Court. It gives you tons of great college hoops action you couldn't get otherwise. Call your cable operator or DirecTV for ESPN Full Court.
Ever since the first Cowboys and Rustlers, Texans have always known how to leave their mark. And today, this is the brand of choice. Jeep Grand Cherokee. Right now you can get one for as little as $2.99 a month. With a rugged quadra-coil suspension, powerful available V8 and 220 horses, it looks like Jeep Grand Cherokee is one brand Texans can easily call their own. See your Texas Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
Oklahoma State lead down to 4. Skinner now with 18 points in the ball game. Whistle and a foul down low. Let's take a look at our numbers from the first 20 minutes of play.
Well, Oklahoma State has got to like their shooting percentages, 16 of 25 from the floor. Rebounds, big advantage to the Cowboys, but look at the turnovers. Just 1 for Baylor. Points off turnovers. Baylor has gotten 4 points off of 4 Oklahoma State turnovers.
Robish inside, bangs the body, and he's got the deuce. Robish now with 9 in the ball game. That foul, by the way, was on Skinner splitting, so now Baylor's going to look at maybe having him in some kind of foul problems. Jones' 3 off the mark. Keani Roberts only 6 points in that opening half, and we had a couple of players clinking heads. Maurice Robinson took one upside the head. He's able to walk away from it. Oh, our halftime leading scorers as they tend to the injured player.
Adrian Peterson has been hot since the beginning of the ball game. Brett Robish opened his scoring from out on the perimeter, but then got that last high lob, so he now has 9 points in the ball game. Skinner has gotten it all done for the Baylor Bears. 16 points throughout the first half. He had the first 2 points for Baylor here in the second half. A slam dunk.
Halftime score.
And 18:41 left to play in the ball game. Boy, that hurts, though, when you just clink ahead and you don't see it coming, and all of a sudden, bang, you're getting nailed, and you go down to the court, and you got to make sure you've got everything there.
When you get to the defensive end, your teammates will help you out where those picks are, but when you're in the full court, you've got to have some peripheral vision and be able to pick that up for yourself because everybody's pretty well spread out there and doing some scrambling.
Well, David Jones, who began the second half, instead of Kendrick, he was the injured player. Right there on the top of your screen, you see Robinson just turns right into Kendrick, right into Jones, and knocks Jones down. Cowboys with the ball.
Adrian Peterson hot throughout that first half, so it's going to be the point guard, Patrick Hunter, drawing the assignment. Hunter's just 5'9", working against the much taller Peterson. Peterson's 6'4".
Brand doing a nice job. The pump fakes, the shot, and it goes for Keani Roberts. Only the third field goal for Roberts in the ball game, and the Cowboys now push the lead to 8. Skinner counts it, and he'll go to the line.
Well, Brian Skinner showing that he can step out and add a little bit to his range. Usually the good players are going to improve through the season and improve their game. It looks like Skinner is starting to do that for Baylor, showing a little bit more range here this afternoon than what he has shown throughout most of this year. He will really be a force if he can step it out to the 12 and 15-foot range.
24 is his season high. He has 21 already this afternoon.
Oklahoma State will rotate their point guards. They don't have a true point guard unless you would call Alexander right here the point guard, but he likes to get out on the perimeter and shoot it. So they'll show you Peterson out front along with Keontae Roberts and then Alexander as well.
Manning to the hole over Alexander, and it goes, and Baylor showing a little aggressiveness on the offensive side. That is Manning's first field goal of the game.
Manning, that time taking it down the right side, getting off a tough shot into the defense. Remember, he is a lefty shooter.
Robish way out front. Kendrick comes out to meet him. Grant backing off on Roberts. Robish backdoor cut. Skinner can't afford to foul him, and Robish with 11 in the ball game.
He was able to step around Leon Morris, the young freshman, trying to put some pressure out on the perimeter. Just a quick step around and the drop down pass.
The three, nothing but the bottom of the net.
That's a big basket for Baylor. Oklahoma State on a little bit of a run had stretched it out to 9 points.
That is Hunter's second three, and now he got the crowd into the game. It is back down to a 2-point advantage for the Cowboys. Alexander cuts through the paint, clears it out for Roberts, and he's got the easy layup from the right side.
Coach Miller really upset with that defensive effort from the Baylor Bears. That is one of the reasons the clubs have been able to put up runs against him. No screen set that time. It was just Keontae Roberts stepping around a couple players.
Robish commits his third personal foul, second team foul.
Here is the man in drive, a little head fake. Taking it all the way to the glass, shooting around Chad Alexander. And down on the other end, this is that last defensive effort. You see Baylor just getting tangled up with their own players. There's not a black jersey in the area. A clear out for Keontae Roberts to go one-on-one. He burned 2 Baylor Bears that time down.
John Perkins into the lineup for Baylor, number 33. Marlon Dorsey, number 10. In for Oklahoma State. Keontae Roberts' ankle seems to be good. But when you know a guy does not have a great jump shot, you can't allow him to keep his dribble like that. You've got to force him to pick up his dribble. They're not doing it.
Talking to the Oklahoma State people and asked them to remember the jump shots that Keontae Roberts has taken this year. He's 0 for 6 from three-point range, and they said other than that, there might be 2 jump shots that he's taken.
You do what's best. 22 points now in the ball game for Skinner. And it is a 3-point Oklahoma State lead. Peterson slow to bring it up. Peterson gets a good look. He's floating on the 3, and he still drains it. His second of the ball game.
Well, Peterson is doing a lot of work throughout this ball game, a work along the baseline. That time set up his man over a pick and took it from the top of the key.
Hunter, who had taken 93s coming into the game, has hit 3 today. He has 9 points in the ball game.
That's a much-needed dimension for this Baylor team. Somebody who can hit some range shots from out behind that circle. They know they got the inside game with Grant and Skinner.
Especially when they start collapsing on Skinner, but now Keontae Roberts starting to show his stuff.
This game's starting to heat up a little bit.
Slightly. Roberts has already matched his first half output. He has 12 in the ball game.
Dorsey draws the defensive assignment against Hunter. He's got quite a bit more range than Hunter as far as getting a hand in his face. Hunter misses that shot.
Oklahoma State by 5. Keontae Roberts again inside in traffic, whistle and a foul. And he comes up limping just a little bit.
Well, Roberts so active with the basketball, again setting up in the portion of floor where he likes to back in. Sees the double team coming, spins away from that pressure, the little baby hook.
Yeah, Keontae Roberts will go to the line. The last 2 games he has been hot from the outside at 72%. Perfect from the stripe this afternoon. 3 of 3. He has 13 in the ball game. His average is 13. With the free throw, Oklahoma State leads by 6. 5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Brandt, he'll launch the 3. He'll miss the 3. Rebound, Robinson high for it. Roberts running the court, faces up with Brandt, takes him to the hole with the left hand.
Well, that was a great move. A little fake spin move to his right. Took it right down the lane. He got it all the way to the glass. Brandt went for the fake. And Roberts quick with that spin move.
Now, Keani Roberts taking over here in the second half. Look at it again.
Face up to the basket. Now back in on your man. A little fake. And the left-handed layup. He can go either hand.
Now, the officials did not buy the flop by Brandt. And Roberts instead delivers his 15th point of the ball game. 9 coming here in the second half. Oklahoma State leads by 8. Their biggest lead was 9. We are inside of 15 minutes to play in the ball game. Oklahoma State entering the year, Paul, they had won 22 straight versus teams from Texas, but that was snapped on January the 4th when UT beat them. But UT lost today to the Oklahoma Sooners.
Well, this Oklahoma State ball club, and Eddie Sutton is very concerned about his team. They want to be able to make it back to the tournament, but they have had 4 crushing defeats out of conference. A loss to Arizona State, Arkansas State, Tulsa, now Oral Roberts University in midweek. So they're really going to have to make hay. It's tough to do it when you get into conference play. And how about this, Oklahoma State in the zone?
That's something that the coaches told me would not happen. From the outside, Perkins knocks home the 3.
Well, we mentioned Perkins, a starter a season ago, has seen his playing time cut from 21 minutes a game to 7 minutes a game. Now a quality player coming off the bench. And Baylor starting to show his own. First time that we have seen that out of the Bears. So coaches take the time out. You wonder if they had scripted that. Well, let's try his own for a few minutes, see how that changes the game.
Peterson draws the blocking foul from Perkins. That'll be number 2 on Perkins. 3rd team foul here in the second half. And a whistle and a timeout. We have 14:20 to play in the ball game, and the Cowboys of OSU lead it by 5. We'll be right back after this message from your friends at Phillips 66, the Performance Company.
Phillips 66 presents the Phillips 66 Big 12 Gasoline Giveaway. Think of all the places you could go if you're the grand prize winner of a 1997 Ford pickup, plus free Phillips 66 gasoline for the next 5 years. And you'll win a trip for 2 to the first ever Phillips 66 Big 12 basketball tournament in Kansas City. It's the Phillips 66 Big 12 Gasoline Giveaway. Sign up today at participating Phillips 66 stations.
What tough is? It's the wide open spaces of the world's only standard third door. What tough does? What tough is? It's the biggest box and the highest maximum V8 payload. What tough does? Tough is what tough does. The new Ford F-150, Motor Trend Truck of the Year, built Ford Tough.
Pizza Hut employee memo number 5, a word about napkins. It stands to reason that if you create a pepperoni that has less grease per piece of pepperoni, you're going to need less napkins. So, less napkins it is. On the other hand, if you put more pepperoni on the pizza, you might need more napkins. Which means, after some serious deliberation, we recommend the same amount of napkins. Okay, can we consider the napkin question put to rest? Now we can go on to placemats.
You're on placemat.
So feel free to let everyone know we're making it great, again and again.
Let's take a look at the Pizza Hut plays of the game, brought to you by Pizza Hut, making it great again and again.
Oklahoma State just happy that Keani Roberts is back on the floor after a sprained ankle in the first 30 seconds of the ball game, but Roberts getting it done along the baseline with the little back-end move. Now from out on the perimeter, taking the drive all the way to the glass.
That was our Pizza Hut replay, making it great again and again. 54-49 is our score. 14:20 to play in the ball game. Dorsey out front.
Baylor continues to play that zone defense. They want to keep pressure on the ball. It's a matchup zone.
Perkins with his 3rd personal foul. Mason will come into the lineup for Oklahoma State.
Freshman Maurice Robertson.
Back out front. Plenty of time on the shot clock.
Oklahoma State, a team known for being patient offensively, working it around the perimeter. Anderson along the baseline, Peterson along the baseline in the block.
Skinner with his second block. He has 63 on the year. Whistle and a foul inside, and it's going to be on Robish. He was caught holding on to Skinner. Robish with 4 personal fouls.
A lot of movement inside. And Peterson taking it along the baseline, the reverse layup, swatted out of there by Skinner. Active on both ends of the floor.
Now Skinner and Robish doing a little talking to each other. Brett Robish has done a nice job for the most part, even though Skinner's got a bunch of points. This time he can only put up the hands, but that was enough.
One of the things Robish has done here this afternoon is make sure that Skinner is shooting over the top of him. Pretty good matchup inside with both of them about 6'11".
Dorsey directing traffic out front. Roberts trying to find some position. Dangerous pass. 10 to shoot. The 3. The rebound, Skinner. Bears with the ball. They trail by 5. Nothing but the bottom of the net again for Hunter. His 4th three-pointer of the ball game.
A 32% shooter from three-point range coming into play here today, but he has been red hot all afternoon.
And it's got him standing as the lead is back to 2.
A zone defense will also slow a team down because you got to look at it and kind of work the ball around a little bit. This zone has been a factor over the last 2 minutes for the Bears.
Oklahoma State not being able to solve it. Peterson to Robish, baseline jumper on the way, and he buries it.
That was a good execution that time by the Cowboys. They didn't go with the 20-footer. They ended up getting a wide-open baseline jumper from Robish from about 12 feet.
Robish is averaging 8. He has 13 in the ballgame this afternoon. Alexander will come back into the lineup. Mason will sit down.
Pretty good action over the last couple minutes by the Baylor Bears. Skinner doing a good job on the boards, creating the opportunity on the offensive end. Hunter taking it into the offensive end, and nobody picked him up. A wide open jumper.
And back to live action. Hunter with the basket and the foul.
Shooting 1.
And Hunter will go to the line to shoot 1. Hunter having a big time here in the second half.
No, it was Skinner keeping the Bears in the game in the first half.
Oh, yeah.
Hunter here in the second half.
They went inside, now they go outside. 14 for Hunter in the ball game, 4 better than his average. And Baylor has pulled within 1 at 56-55.
And they've got their fans on their feet here.
Dorsey out front. They're looking for Roberts. He can't find any room. Robish almost throws it away. Roberts now swings to the other side. He sees the double quickly. Nice defense by the Bears. That's a 3. That's a make.
And Dorsey is really coming up big in conference play. A guy who did not score much early in the season for the Cowboys, scoring a lot lately.
Skinner thought he had the jam. Keani Roberts came a long way to try to put the block on it, but instead he picks up his 4th personal foul.
So Skinner looking ahead and seeing the streaking, or Hunter looking ahead, seeing the streaking Skinner out in front. Keani Roberts, there's no way that you're going to give up the dunk, even when you're on the run. And Dorsey, we talk about his scoring. Roberts penetrating that zone defense, pulling it in. Dorsey with the face-up jumper, a guy who's really come on. It's going to be a factor for these Cowboys the rest of the way. Playing with a lot of confidence in shooting that basketball right now.
Roberts with his 4th, Kendrick in. Brandt sits down. Skinner only 4 of 7 from the line. And Eddie Sutton is going to take Keani Roberts out. And we have a timeout. Brian Skinner has pulled Baylor within 3. 11:51 to play in the ball game.
Try the treatment.
She said what?
The tissue is damaged.
You have got to be kidding. No way, she didn't.
Rinse! Rinse! Rinse!
Going to ask me for genre. I know. And then Sally said Tommy told Sandy to ask me if I would ever consider going out with Garrett.
The pain.
No way.
We've weathered some of the worst storms, survived some of the most brutal punishment, dealt by the elements and the economy. We've helped millions of families throughout the heartland of America do the same. And together, we've come through stronger, more resilient than ever. For home, car, and life insurance, we're proud to be your shield of shelter. Shelter Insurance will always be there for you.
Oh, bathroom. Oh, bathroom, bathroom, bathroom. Oh, yes.
Traveling's an adventure. Where you stay shouldn't be. Fairfield Inn by Marriott.
A Studio 66 update from Lawrence, Kansas. The Jayhawks in a tough game with Nebraska. Jared Haas finds Ray Friends inside for the jump hook. It's Kansas on top by only 4. Let's go back to Ron Thulin and that crafty left-hander, Paul Splitor. Guys?
Oh, the crafty left-handers enjoying this one because Oklahoma State and Baylor are in a 3-point ball game. And I think what's ironic is Baylor comes in shooting 27% from beyond the arc, 11th in the Big 12 Conference. This afternoon, they are 7 of 16 for Harry Miller for 44%. And you can see the field goal percentage. Oklahoma State continuing to be hot. Baylor creeping up on them.
Well, Harry Miller will tell you they intended to play a soft schedule in preseason because they needed to win ball games. They needed to put something on that left side of the column. They got those wins early on, then hoping that they could continue developing conference play, showing pretty good development here this afternoon. Now they go back to a man-to-man defense. Keanu Roberts taken off the floor. He had been doing a good job of getting inside that man-to-man. They went to his own defense. Now with him off the floor, they go back to man-to-man again.
Peterson now with 21 in the ball game. Baylor started the season 11-1. They are only 2-6 since then. Inside, Skinner, he walked with it, will go the other way.
Got
only
a little bit of a big hurry.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's only the 3rd turnover for this team that averages 17.
Oklahoma State will force you to hurry a little bit. You can see the double team coming. Hunter knows he's going to get it. Maurice Robinson dropping down for that double team.
Dorsey looking to go down low to Robinson, nothing there. Alexander took his eyes off it. He was the last, nope, Baylor was the last to touch it. Pleading his case, Miller not going to get it. 19 to shoot for the Cowboys.
Oklahoma State doing a good job of working some clock here, trying to slow down that crowd noise as well.
Oh, yeah. Down to 5. Robish tries to go up and under on Skinner. It is swiped away. The 5th turnover. Miller came up with it. He'll pull up for 14, and he buries it.
Well, Miller, the coach's kid, doing a good job of defending, first of all, slapping the ball loose, and then taking it off the dribble, knocking down the jumper.
Miller's first field goal of the game, and we are back to a 3-point lead by the Cowboys, almost halfway home in the final stanza. Dangerous pass picked off. Robish knocks it away and may have helped Hunter. He walked with it.
Good idea, but he drew the whistle. He was out of control. Miller with the previous steal slapped it loose. Oklahoma State in the offensive end. He's doing a good job of playing without the ball, doubling down on Robish. Takes it the length of the floor, checks out the traffic, pulls it up, and nails it.
22nd timeout by Eddie Sutton. Fans didn't like it. Harry Miller is still explaining it to the officials, and they're not going to change it. So the traveling call gives the ball back to the Cowboys. They lead it by 3 with 10:07 to play. Let's take a look at it again. Was it or was it not a travel?
Well, Hunter stepping in and knocking the ball loose. He's all alone, but he's out of control. Off balance because of the contact at the other end. Heads up play because he's looking for an open teammate. If he gets some trailer help right there, which he did have, there were 2 golden jerseys. Unloaded that pass. Coach Miller didn't think it warranted the whistle. The official thought otherwise.
Well, the replay showed that it was a pretty good play by young Mr. Hunter.
Both teams have 2 full timeouts and 1 20-second timeout.
Both teams with 2 fulls and a 20. As far as the timeout situation, Peterson will let the 3 fly. A little bit strong. Rebound Dorsey. Oklahoma State quickly back to the hole. Yes, it goes. And 1.
Oklahoma State has found a hot guard throughout this entire game. It was Peterson in the first half. Now it's Dorsey starting to light some things up. A couple minutes ago, he had a 3-pointer from out on the perimeter. Now at the free throw line, shows you that he has the quickness and ability to get down that lane, rolls it in.
Foul was on Kendrick. Dorsey can't complete the 3-point play. Well, remember to enter the Phillips 66 gasoline giveaway for a chance to win 5 years of free gasoline, a trip for 2 to the Big 12 basketball tournament, and a 1997 Ford 150 pickup. Check for details and participating Phillips 66 stations. From deep in the corner, Hunter shot off the mark, offensive rebound. Kendrick the putback. No. Jones right there to clean things up.
This Baylor team is one that has been out-rebounded in a lot of their games this year. -1 rebound on average on the season, getting 3 attempts that time down the floor.
And the crowd is standing as the lead is just 3 for Oklahoma State. And Eddie Sutton has got to be concerned. His team's shooting a great percentage, and they just can't pull away.
Ron, something that both clubs have done here today is they've done a good job of finding the guy with the hot hand. Right now it's Dorsey for Oklahoma State.
Robinson, that was a bad shot. Dorsey keeps it alive. 4 to shoot. He's got to hurry up. He does. Hits the rim. No. Hunter leading the numbers for Baylor. Pulls up with a 3. Yes!
And it's Hunter for Baylor. Red hot in the second half of the 3-point shooting. Again with the ball in the face-up shot.
And we are tied at 63. 20-second timeout, Eddie Sutton.
When you get the hot hand, if you're a teammate, you got to find that guy. Well, Hunter's just finding the ball. And if you're defending against him, you've got to know where he is on the floor at all times, especially on the break. Just because you're on the break, you don't have to have the layup. If you've got the hot hand and you got the open shot from 3, and you see him pull up and shoot it off the dribble, no metal there. Nothing but cords.
He is 5 for 7 from beyond the arc. He has a career-high 18 points, 15 of those coming in the second half. Not bad for a guy that was only 32% beyond the arc coming into the game. So we're tied at 63 with 8:31 to play in the ball game. Hunter, somebody needs to put a body on him. Oklahoma State with the ball. Alexander for 3. Jones may have gotten a piece of it. Hunter quickly picked up by Peterson. Miller tries to free Jones with a pick. Grant on Robish playing with 4 fouls. Can't convert. Dorsey the rebound.
Oklahoma State doing a good job that time of getting inside position. 3 black jerseys in there. No way for Baylor to get that offensive rebound.
Robinson, Robish is being held by Brandt. And that'll be number 3 on Doug Brandt.
Well, Brandt has had the tough defensive assignments this afternoon for Baylor. First of all, starting out with Keontae Roberts, and now working against Robish.
We have a timeout, knotted up at 63 apiece.
Pizza Hut employee memo number 5, a word about napkins. It stands to reason that if you create a pepperoni that has less grease per piece of pepperoni, you're going to need less napkins. So, less napkins it is. On the other hand, if you put more pepperoni on the pizza, you might need more napkins. Which means, after some serious deliberation, we recommend the same amount of napkins. Okay, can we consider the napkin question put to rest? Now we can go on to placemats.
You're on placemat.
So feel free to let everyone know we're making it great, again and again.
Bullwinkle, we passed by here an hour ago.
Where's here? I thought we were there.
Bullwinkle.
Oh, don't
Okay,
worry, Rob.
that's enough TV for today.
Yeah!
Let's go for a ride.
Yeah, come on, we're out of here.
Dad, where are we going? This better be good. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh, honey. See that? See?
That's cool.
When are we gonna be there?
Hey, stop! Wait! Dad, can we take him home?
Ford Explorer, because the world's too big to be left unexplored.
We're there.
Here come the Bears. He's men's basketball coach Harry Miller.
And he's KCEN Sports Director Mark Allen.
And together we bring you the Harry Miller Show, Saturdays at noon, right here on Sports Strong 6.
We'll take you off the court and behind the scenes to meet some of your favorite basketball players.
And we'll rewind back in time to some of the great players of the past with a voice of the Baylor Bears and John Morris's memories. Highlights of the Bears, all the Big 12, Saturdays at noon on Sports Strong 6.
Then stay tuned for the Big 12 matchup of the day, right here on TV6 Texas Strong.
Welcome to Waco, Texas. We are at the Farrell Center, and we've got a dandy on tap. Oklahoma State looking for their first road win away from Gallagher-Iba Arena. And Baylor looking for their third conference win overall, and we're tied at 63 along with Paul Splittorff. I'm Ron Thulin, 7:53 to play in the ball game. Mom, send me to college. I'll learn to tie balloons and wear them on television.
Saturday afternoon, you got to have some fun. They're having a good time here in Waco. You see the 3-point field goal shooting percentage. Oklahoma State now 3 of 10, but Baylor's been red hot.
Do you think that Baylor needs to, or Oklahoma State needs to put a little more pressure on Baylor defensively?
Well, you got to wonder if they might change things up. I think Oklahoma State needs to try to change things if they can. I don't think they can play the last 8 minutes as they are and be guaranteed to win. Team in that situation usually tries to change something.
Skinner with a big-time slam. 25 points for Skinner, a new season high, and just 2 off his career high.
You know, a lot of times defense is just attitude, and Skinner using his quickness to knock that ball loose against Robish. He got the inside position, got his hand on the ball, and then just out-quicked him to the ball.
And that is going to be an offensive foul on Keani Roberts.
Guess what?
He's gone. Toast.
Now there's Skinner stepping in and deflecting the pass, taking it the length of the floor on this strong jam. And maybe a more important development down at the other end of the floor the next time down for the Cowboys. Keontae Roberts got in trouble in the Oklahoma ball game in the first half with fouls, played very well in the second half, was able to stay in the ball game, unable to stay in this game here today.
Well, it was 59-55 when he got his 4th. Now he fouls out with Baylor leading by a deuce. A lot of time left at 7:20, and Eddie Sutton can only hope.
Well, and maybe, as we mentioned, maybe change something up. And Oklahoma State likes to play defense. Roberts out of the ball game. We talked about possibly stepping up the defensive pressure out front. Remember, Baylor's had problems with turnovers, and it looks like they will step up and pressure a little bit more. But remember, Oklahoma State in foul trouble up front, so if Baylor can get the ball inside, they would seem to have a huge advantage.
Now, Robish just got away with his 5th foul because he hit Skinner's arm on that shot. It's the first Baylor lead since it was 11-10 early on. Inside of 7 minutes, Baylor with a 2-point advantage. Baylor has lost 5 of 6 to Oklahoma State. Peterson, Hunter covers him up quickly, a little too quickly, and a little too close.
Well, Hunter's got that good quickness. He has got the kind of quickness that he can go out and go chest to chest at about 25 feet and not expected to get burned.
First personal on Hunter. Harry Miller just continuing to coach. Tell him to get out there on him.
Hey, one of the things he has done is recruit players from successful programs. And while Baylor has not been successful, if you bring in young people that expect to go out and win, know how to win, that's really an important step. And while they haven't done a lot of winning in conference so far this year, you need to play well down the stretch. If you've got those kind of people, you've certainly got a better chance.
Good point. Peterson, good free throw shooter at 83%. He's 2 of 3 this afternoon. 22 points for Peterson. +1. Tied again at 65. Miller cutting through the hole. Dorsey staying with him. Now Robinson and Brandt fighting. Robish trying to keep Skinner out of the block. Robish just putting on the hands. Skinner cannot complete the play.
Brandt kept that thing alive. Baylor able to regain possession.
Robish all over him. Finally, just has to give it up, and Skinner slams it home. Skinner's 27 ties his career high. Once again, Baylor lost to Oklahoma State 8 days ago by 28. Robinson has been quiet. Only 3 points for Robinson, all coming in the first half. Hunter shaking and making to the hole, doesn't get it. Skinner, the putback.
Now, Ron, maybe the key to this ball game was the fact that Baylor could stay in it when Oklahoma State was shooting 70%. Now, they're hanging on the doorstep. Oklahoma State goes cold a little bit, and they're taking advantage and going to the strong guy inside.
And everybody is standing here at the Farrell Center. Peterson pulling the trigger off the mark. Skinner taps it away.
And Peterson has gone cold.
David Jones to the hole. No, but we have a blocking foul, and it will be on Peterson.
Well, in the first part of this second half, it was Patrick Hunter taking over from long range. But now it's Skinner going to work against Robish. Robish lost his balance, fell off, and Skinner able to finish it.
David Jones, just a freshman out of Killeen, Texas. Skinner again. Jones made the first. Seven in the ball game for Jones, and the lead is at 6. That is the biggest advantage for Baylor this afternoon.
We talked about Baylor not being a good free throw shooting team overall. Jones at 63% is one of their better shooters.
From the outside, the three clanks off the rim, rebound being batted around. Robish up with it, draws the whistle and the foul, and it will be on Brandt, and that is his fourth.
Desmond Mason really made that play for Oklahoma State. Had the long-range jumper, but very active and aggressive going to the glass. He's a 6'6 freshman, excellent leaper. Kept that ball alive. Robish got his hands on it. Robish should be at the free throw line. Really important for Oklahoma State to shoot a high percentage at the free throw line. This Baylor club is red hot.
And Oklahoma State is in some foul trouble, and now with Brandt picking up 4, that is the only player in foul trouble for Baylor, but Roberts has already fouled out. Robish 1 away from sitting down. Can't get either one of them, and the Baylor lead remains at 6.
Remember, this Oklahoma State club, because of injuries and a defection, is not a deep club to begin with. They've only got 8 players that they play.
Brandt inside, and he is going to be fouled from behind by Dorsey.
That's a good foul by Dorsey.
Exactly.
You're at the stage of the ball game. You can't give up any cheap points. Baylor had worked their offense, gotten a great look. Skinner is going to draw a lot of attention. Brandt doing a good job of moving without the ball.
And at the line, it will be Brandt, well under his season average of 12. He only has 4 in the ball game. One of the better free throw shooters on this Baylor team at 71%. Brandt with 7, and the lead is 7.
You mentioned early on, Oklahoma State still looking for their first win on the road. They wanted to have a lead at this stage of the ballgame. They didn't want to have to play catch-up.
At times, they looked like they were going to blow this open. You mentioned it, Peterson is cold. Robish battling for it. It'll be a fresh 35 on the shot clock as Oklahoma State will retain possession. 7-point Baylor lead.
You know, Oklahoma State in a little bit of trouble right now. Keontae Roberts, their top scorer, out with 5 fouls. Peterson, their best perimeter shooter, has gone cold. You know, who's option number 3? It might be Dorsey. He has the ball right now.
Well, Robinson has done nothing offensively. Outside, Robish doesn't get it. The tip goes down.
There's Mason, that athletic freshman. He has been a factor on the glass here today. Not only a factor, he's been spectacular.
Oh, he has been. From the outside, Baylor can't get it to go. Robish way out front. Oklahoma State down by 5. 3:45 to play in the ball game.
Right now, you got to think the key offensive people for Oklahoma State are going to be Robish along with Dorsey, and now it's Mo Robinson chipping in, and Eddie Sutton wants a timeout.
That's a good timeout by Eddie Sutton because he doesn't want to get a chance for Baylor to try to make a run back. 3:35, 3-point lead. We'll be back right after this message from your friends at Phillips 66, the performance company.
For the most part, people look to their cars as a way to get where they're going. And if your car doesn't perform, well, you could end up somewhere you don't want to be. We don't want that. That's why for nearly 80 years, people from far and wide have counted on Phillips to get them on their way. Mile after mile, year after year. For all the miles to come, Phillips 66, the performance company.
Chevrolet announces the new lineup for 96, and they're all available now at C.C. Jones Motor Company in Marlin. As American as Saturday nights, the Chevy Camaro turns drivers into enthusiasts. The Monte Carlo is an auto the family will fall in love with. The great Chevrolet value, the Lumina, is the right car for today. The Chevy Cavalier sets a new standard of affordable excellence, and the Geo Prism is the right car at the right price. For over 35 years, the Jones family has been selling and servicing the automotive needs of Central Texas. Come see why at C.C. Jones Motor Company on the Highway 6 bypass in Marlin.
Oklahoma State led 54-46, but Baylor has fought back, and they lead it by 3, 72-69, 3:35 to play in the ball game.
And you can see why the people in Stillwater are pretty excited about Desmond Mason. Look at him on the follow right here, aggressively going to the glass and getting that tip in. He is a kid that has shown some flashes, maybe not the consistency that Oklahoma State had asked for from him, but it's tough for a freshman to step up and be consistent in that first full season.
Our game reset, you can see Eddie Sutton with just one timeout. Harry Miller with 2 and a 20, both sitting at 18 fouls.
Baylor will want to make sure that they value each possession the rest of the way. Work a little shot clock, but still make sure they get a good look at the basket.
You think they'd want to go right to Skinner to try to draw that fifth on Robish. Hunter dribbling around. Now Skinner sets up on the right block.
I don't think they want to do anything until they get it inside 10 seconds.
And here they go. 7 to shoot. Hunter out front. Working on Peterson. Now they're in trouble with 3, 2, 1. They get it off. Rebound Dorsey.
Got a good look at the basket. So many times young teams, when they try to slow it down, don't end up with a good shot. Now Baylor got a good shot that time down.
Very simple play by Oklahoma State, and it draws the whistle and the foul.
When you can't shoot it from the outside, when you've gone stone cold, you got to get in as close as you can. And that time Oklahoma State got it right next to the basket.
And Doug Brandt has fouled out of the ball game. He will leave with 7 points. Boy, that was a tough call because there were a lot of bodies flying all over the place.
There have been a couple of tough calls, and Brandt has gotten hurt before in the ball game where it looked like the foul might have actually gone to Skinner, and Brandt ended up getting the whistle. I know he was very disappointed with the last one, playing the solid defense inside. Fouls out with just 7 points today, but a pretty good defensive effort. Good job on the glass.
Well, Doug Brandt has done a nice job today, not showing up in the numbers. He had come into this game playing the best of anybody on the team. But he's going to have to sit down the final 2:47 as Perkins is going to come into the lineup. John Perkins out of Plano High School in Dallas. He'll come in and replacing Doug Brandt. And at the line, it'll be Maurice Robinson, only 63% from the stripe, 1 of 2 this afternoon. Oklahoma State now has missed their last 3 free throw attempts.
Doug Brandt has been here through all of it for Baylor, and while he's sitting over there on the bench, we will want everybody to play well for him.
Lane violation. We'll try it again.
Lane violation against Baylor, 1 additional shot for Robinson.
Skinner got in a little too early. Robinson will try it again. Robinson with 6.
That's as good as a turnover, isn't it?
Oh, yes, that is. That just kills coaches. And the lead is just 2, but Baylor has the ball. Hunter gets a look at it, launches it, right side, rebound, Dorsey.
Hunter has been a long time without a shot. Missed that one.
Oklahoma State with a chance to tie or take the lead. Robish now posting left side. Mason pulls the trigger. Rebound, Robish, the putback high, goes.
Robish is pretty heads up about how to play this game. You can tell he's played it a lot. That shot comes up from one wing. He's got that inside position, opposite side of the basket. Most of your rebounds will go there.
And I think maybe Eddie Sutton may have had a little heart palpitation when he saw Mason going up and almost tried to tip that in. Jones makes it happen himself. Baylor by 2, 1:50 to play. Everybody is standing at the Farrell Center. Inside, Robinson, yes, and we are tied again.
That's the area of the floor that Robinson wants to work in. Something down close where he can use that big body.
Inside of 1:30. Skinner has been quiet the last 3 or 4 minutes.
And you got to think he's got to have a touch in every possession the rest of the way for Baylor.
15 on the shot clock. Miller, the out-of-control shot, and we have a whistle and a foul, and that may be it for Robish.
You know, Skinner didn't get the touch that time down the floor, but he had the key pick as Baylor is getting some penetration, getting inside that Oklahoma State defense. And there's Miller, but there's Skinner with the pick on Robish. Robish now working behind the shooter, has the push-off foul.
And now Eddie Sutton must make a decision as Robish sits down with 15 points. That is a career high. He has done a nice job on both ends of the board, although Skinner has really had his way with everybody in the black unis today.
The Oklahoma State problem right now, they have a freshman, Alex Weber, plays about 17 minutes per ball game, but he has a back problem. He's not even with their team. Now, he would be really their option and the guy they need right here, but we talked about injuries for Oklahoma State. This is where it really hurts. Keontae Roberts out of the ball game, and now Brett Robish.
And Eddie Sutton choosing to go small as they're going to bring Chad Alexander in.
Now you're going to have to see defensive pressure. You got a little team out there. You're down on the score. You're going to have to try to force some turnovers. Plus, it's going to be tough to work it inside offensively.
Miller with 3. His dad is pacing. His dad's team leads by 1. The lead is 2. We have 69 seconds left to be played here in Waco. Baylor up by a deuce.
And fans on their feet.
Game was tied at 65. Baylor took a 7-point lead. Oklahoma State came back, scored the next 7 to tie it up. And now it's the Bears by a deuce. Inside, rejected by Skinner. And he keeps it alive. What a job by Brian Skinner.
Great offensive set by Oklahoma State. Peterson with the pick, frees Robinson inside, and Skinner with the rejection.
His 3rd block of the ball game. Still not much pressure by OSU out front. Skinner sets the pick. Miller works off it with 10 on the shot clock.
You know, that's a good point. They're going over all kinds of picks, and most times you run into a double team and a trap right there.
Brian Skinner has been the man this afternoon.
Now Oklahoma State needs a quick shot. Baylor can't have any fouls.
31, a 3 won't help you much. You need at least something. But you got to move the basketball. Peterson, yes, he's got the 3. That was so close to being just a 2, but instead Peterson hits his 3rd 3 of the ball game. He has 24, and the lead should be 1, and it is. game is brought to you by Phillips 66, makers of super clean gasolines and Trop Arctic motor oil. Southwestern Bell for all your communication needs. Yes, it's that simple. And by Fairfield Inn by Marriott. Traveling's an adventure. Where you stay shouldn't be. Along with Paul Splinter, I'm Ron Doolin. We have 0.6 of a second left to be played in the ball game. Peterson's three-pointer has cut the Baylor lead to 1. Baylor will have it.
Here is the last Oklahoma State possession, or the previous possession, the good dump down pass. Maurice Robinson with an opportunity to get it on the glass, but there was Skinner with the block. Skinner averages 3 blocks per ball game. He's had more than that here today. And then Skinner on the opposite end, a key basket. That may have been the game winner for Baylor, but we still got some more basketball.
31 points for Brian Skinner this afternoon, a career and season high, and he's the first Baylor player to get 30-plus in over 3 years.
Oklahoma State slow to get this thing into the offensive end. Adrian Peterson gets his man in the air and drains that three-pointer as the Cowboys to within 1. Now Baylor needs to get it inbound, try to get that clock started. Oklahoma State desperate for a foul and to quick get a shot in the air. Maybe get the steal if they can. If they can't get the steal, they need a foul.
They've got to be careful because Oklahoma State will try to draw the foul on the inbounds pass. Harry Miller wants a timeout. His players don't see it. They do get it in, the foul, and that should do it. Oklahoma State has been upset, and for the second game in a row, the Baylor Bears pull off the upset. Behind Brian Skinner's 31 points, 3 block shots, he leads the Baylor Bears to their 3rd conference victory of the year, 2nd win in a row. 78-77 is the final. Let's send it back to the studio with Doug Bell. Doug?
All right, Ron, thank you very much. Quite a game in Lawrence, Kansas. #1 Kansas up on Nebraska, 60-58, a minute 27 to go. Let's join Fred White and Jen Sunville with a call. Nebraska has missed a ton of free throws. They actually should be ahead, but they trail #1 Kansas by only 2. 1:27 to play. Let's join them now.
Have to have a couple of big plays down the stretch. Doesn't matter now. Mikey Moore's got 4 fouls. He can go after it from here on out. Vincent Hamilton has 4, but you don't hold back with a minute 27 to play. And really, Mikey Moore hasn't held back. He got 2 blocks in one sequence down there a while ago.
Yeah, I think Nebraska has come into this building, handled things well. They've had a lot of turnovers, but they've stayed in the game. That has not frustrated them. Teron Lue has not handled the ball well at times, but he's hit big basket after big basket. There you see the last win in Lawrence. That is a long time ago.
13 straight losses here.
B.J. Williams only a 56% free throw shooter. So if you're Nebraska on the second one, you have to make sure you block out.
B.J. Williams at the line. It's still a 2-point lead for Kansas. We want to welcome those. If you've been watching Oklahoma State and Baylor, we have a minute 27 left here. Kansas leading Nebraska by 2. B.J. Williams on the line for the Jayhawks. This has been some ball game. The miss. Paul Pierce tried to keep it alive. Belcher has it. Nebraska could tie it with a deuce, take the lead with a tray by Ron Lue.
Nebraska back to man-to-man defense. Watch for the pick and rolls for Lue.
There's the pick from Vincent Hamilton, but Lue to the bucket, lobs it up and misses. Rebound. Good by Vincent Hamilton. We're tied at 60 with a minute 5 to play.
Hamilton smart enough to chase Lue down the lane. Everybody went to Lue defensively. Hamilton had an easy one.
Pass against Belcher to the baseline. Belcher turned it back. Now Vaughn against Lue. 19 on the shot clock. 49 left in the game. 60-60 tie. Vaughn.
Boy, this defense has been terrific all afternoon. Kansas having a hard time to get a good look right now.
9 on the shot clock. Williams lost it. Picked off by Nebraska. 37 seconds to go. 34 on the shot clock, and the Huskers have the possession. Tied at 60. And the Jayhawks' unbeaten record is on the line right here.
And they can leave the ball in Lue's hands. There's a 3-second shot clock difference. They'll take a timeout, but Lue can control the basketball most of the way. Then you may see a pick and roll down towards the end.
20 on the shot clock, 23 seconds left in the game. The Huskers tied at 60 all, with Kansas will have the ball when we come back.
Under this bright yellow cap,